indoor military entertainment in the world.
Hello, young lady. Let's get back to these. They're very pretty, though.
And for this performance, Her Majesty brings her own very special regiment with her, a Guard of Honour found by the Black Watch, of which is Colonel-in-Chief. To entertain the crowds this evening, there's a cast of some 2,000 from the Royal Air Force, the Army and the Navy. As always, Her Majesty most warmly welcomed to the Royal Box as the music swells, the lights change and 50 tons of revolving backdrop spin to herald the 1992 Royal Tournament. And the performance begins at the gallop as gunner Neil Gardner signals the advance of the King's Troop Royal Horse Artillery. Guns and limbers, each unit weighing 1.5 tons, are hauled at speed by 6 teams of 6 horses. Each of these guns was fired in action in the First World War. It's a display of care and courage, a reflection perhaps of what Field Marshal Wavell said about the horse at war. It should be cared for in the stables as if it's worth £500 and ridden in the field as if it were not worth half a crown. The guns slide to the corners with inches to spare, guided by teams of horses that find their origins in one of the rarest breeds in these islands, the heavy horse of Ireland, the Irish Draught. The horses, brought from Ireland as unbroken 4-year-olds, will stay with the troop for 15 or 16 years. The most skillful manoeuvre of all, the high-speed scissors, teams 18 yards long, missing each other by just a few feet of galloping space. The King's Troop was named by King George VI in 1947. He wanted a troop in traditional uniform to be available to take part in the great state occasions. We'll see something of that in a moment. But first, they line up for the half-battery charge. The officer of the troop, Captain Nicholas Parham, will give the order to parade before the royal box. I hope Captain Parham was bearing in mind the 18th century advice to officers: to appear more warlike, ride with your sword drawn, but take care not to cut your horse's ears off. To the echo of the guns, we now celebrate a golden jubilee. In February 1942, the Royal Air Force Regiment was formed. In their honour, the massed bands of the Royal Air Force now entertain us with a selection of the popular songs of World War II. There are representatives here of all 5 Royal Air Force bands, including musicians from RAF Germany, musicians of excellence who have toured as far afield as America and Japan. They're in the uniforms and carrying the guns of 1942. Today, the Queen's Colour Squadron is the RAF's crack drill squad. They're in the record books, having completed almost 3 million drill movements in under 24 hours. Around for considerably longer than the 50 years have been the Rottweilers of the Royal Tournament, getting ready to slip their chains. The hard men of the Royal Navy Field Gun Crews, padding up with padding so slender that it would scare the wits out of an American footballer. They're about to compete in a sport that breaks heads and hands. The story goes that if they lose one of the pins that holds on the gun wheels, pins kept in this little pouch, they simply stick their finger in the hole to keep the wheel in place. So, is there any truth in such a far-fetched story?
Not really.
Sporting a full complement of fingers, legs and wheels in the arena, the Royal Military Police display team, the Red Caps led by Troop Sergeant Major Jerry Russell.
Some like to be in charge in the front. Now, Jack is typical of that sort of horse. He likes to be up front and posing to the crowd, to the audience. He likes to show off himself. There are occasions when we've done certain moves that we've actually put a little buck in, you know, as if to sort of say, I've done it good. You know, he gets very carried away with himself. As I say, he is a smashing horse, and I do love him very much. You know, he's a great character. In fact, sometimes my wife thinks I love him more than I love her, actually.
Look on the bright side, Mrs. Russell, at least you don't have to risk being mown down by marauding motorcycles. In a display which combines the skills of the mounted troop from Aldershot with motorcycle bravado provided by volunteers from units in Britain, Ireland and Germany. The horses come from the Army Veterinary College at Melton Mowbray. It takes about 2 years to train them up to military police standards. And the motorcycles, for all Hell's Angels in the audience, they're 500cc Armstrongs. Standard Army issue, with a fresh lick of paint and a few optional extras. Red Cap season is March to September, when they get together to appear at no more than a dozen events. For the rest of the year, they're on traffic and crowd control and ceremonial duties. Their finale, the horse and motorcycle leap. The salute taken, there follows a jaunty serenade to the Colonel-in-Chief. From the pipes and drums of the Black Watch. The Black Watch have travelled up to London just for the day when the Queen Mother is taking the salute. And they march off on their trip back to their depot in Shropshire to the strains of Scotland the Brave. Resplendent in black feather bonnets and hackles of red vulture feather, they swing along to the Black Bear. Among the notable Hieland laddies who've been part of the regiment are two of the Queen Mother's own brothers. The field gunners are going with a swing too. They've scoured the Navy for these lads, put them through training that's hell on earth, sorted out the brutes from the boys. Boys are what they describe as metal shy. In other words, they flinch when a 900-pound gun barrel's thrown at them. The ones that are left don't flinch.
Come on, lift him up. Lift him up. Let him know we're here. Let him know we're here. Pompey, lift him up. A little bit more. A little bit more. Stand by. Go. 1, 2, 3, Pompey.
On your marks, get set, go. And there we've got blue team just in the lead. And being a bit cheeky there, going under the gate. And with blue team in the lead, we've got Air Dog Zeus and the white dog Air Dog Sally. Oh, and a near miss in the middle. Unlucky there called Robbins. And a nice little flap at the end. Come on then, give them a cheer as they're going down the lines. Just to help them along.
The air dogs and handlers of the Royal Air Force Police Dog Demonstration Team.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Among them, Air Dog Jet, who will demonstrate perfect coordination of paw and eye on the parallel bars. I'll let Team Manager Flight Sergeant Brian Johnson introduce you to the rest of the stars.
And there we go, trained to perfection with kindness, ladies and gentlemen. Air Dog Jet. As you know, all dogs are colourblind. With this next item in the display, hopefully we'll make you reconsider. Our steward today will throw 4 coloured dumbbells into the box. Firstly, the red, the yellow, the green, and finally the blue. We've got 2 dogs today. We've got Air Dog Rex, handled by Corporal Schroff. Come on then, give him a cheer. That's better. And next we've got Air Dog Zeus, handled by Corporal Robbins. Right, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to ask you, the members of the audience, firstly to pick a dog, and then pick a colour. And hopefully the dog will go into the box and come out with the correct colour. So, we've got Air Dog Zeus and Air Dog Rex. Which dog would you like first? We'll have Rex first, I think. Yes, we'll have Rex. And which colour would you like? The red, I think, steward. So the steward takes out the red flag, shows the red to the dog, and will Rex come out with the red dumbbell? Of course he does, well done. Now just to make sure that we're not cheating here, we're going to take the other dog, Air Dog Zeus, and which colour would you like this time? I think that's a yellow, steward. So the steward takes it out and shows it to the dog, and will he come out with a yellow dumbbell? Of course he does, well done. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'll leave you to decide. Are our dogs really colourblind? Now it's competition time. The wall-like object situated on the right-hand side of the arena is what we call the scramble board. We've got 3 dogs in the competition today to see which one can scramble the highest. Remember, the louder you cheer, the higher these dogs will go. The first dog today, Head of Sally. Come on then, this side of the arena. And no problems for the bitch. Well done. Our second dog, what's wrong, Cole Hancocks? Is there something wrong with the scramble? What's that? Cole Hancocks. Out of the competition you go. Sorry for you lot over there, but I told him no cheating beforehand. Come on, out of the competition. We've got 2 dogs left then. We've got Air Dog Zeus jumping for that side. Come on then. Give him a cheer as he's going over. Well done. Right, we'll take the height now to 9 feet. The highest we can go. We've still got 2 dogs left. Right then, Air Dog Sally, come on then. Give her a cheer as she's going over. Come on. Oh. Cole Brown, not this time. Out you go. I told you no pushing. Out you go. Right then, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Let's have everyone in the arena. Come on, let's see if we can get Zeus over. Come on then, get over. And there's our winning dog today, Head of Zeus.
All of these dogs have been donated by members of the public, and the RAF is looking for more. Any German Shepherd or gun dog breed between the ages of 1 and 3.
Our first dog to go today is Air Dog Rex. And there he goes nicely over. Well done, Rex. Next we've got Air Dog Max, handled by Courtney and Johnston, and that dog can really fly. Look at him go. Well done, Cole Johnston. Our next dog, Air Dog Zeus, the scramble winner. Give him a special cheer as he goes over. He's worked hard today. The next dog, Air Dog Jet. And he's safely over. Well done, Jet. The bitch on the team, Air Dog Sally, handled by Courtney Brown. Well done. Air Dog Max. And there he goes, nice and safely over, well done. Now for the highlight of the display. As you can see, the steward is placing out a fire dumbbell. Ulrich will be asked to retrieve the dumbbell to his handler. Ladies and gentlemen, Ed of Ulrich. And there we go, the courage of the German Shepherd dog. Well done, Ulrich.
And on behalf of Ulrich and his fellow performers, the salute is taken by Flying Officer Steve Broadley. Yes, ma'am, I think they've forgotten something. It seems that Air Dog Max fancies a lift home. But he really wants to show that there's another side to this Air Force police dog caper. And Corporal Wood, the intruder, will have a bit of a problem joining in the applause. To commemorate the 50th anniversary of the arrival of American troops during the Second World War, the massed bands of the Royal Air Force now play George Gershwin's Rhapsody in Blue. The high-flying pianist is Flight Lieutenant Stuart Stirling, and the massed bands were under the direction of the Principal Director of Music of the Royal Air Force, Wing Commander Barry Hingley. They call it the Lynch Inn. The field gun teams come to the arena to set the course for one of the most grueling competitive sports in the world. A competition contested to the sinew by teams from Devonport and Fleet Air Arm and Portsmouth. You could say that in real life the field gunners are wireless operators and computer operators and gas turbine engineers. But actually in real life they're field gunners. They live and breathe it. If by any misfortune they should come anything other than first, they reorganize their lives so that 3 years on, that's the earliest the rules allow, they're back at Earls Court to win. To win in a sport hedged about with a maze of rules, a sport with more than 50 penalties that can be incurred, a sport for which they're so highly trained they can make it look effortless. Only in slow motion can you capture the pain and the potential danger. What they're manhandling across this course of enemy and home walls, across a chasm, which like all proper chasms is supposedly bottomless, what they're manhandling is equipment weighing as much as a saloon car. And the result?
It's the only thing. There's nothing else. To win at Earls Court is the only thing to do. There's no second place, and that happens in everything. You've only got to be a winner, and it's Portsmouth's year this year.
To the winner, a silver medal. To the runners-up, bronze. Runners-up have been known to throw their medals into the crowd. Medals for failure, they call them. This run, Portsmouth on the near side takes on the Fleet Air Arm. It's a competition that has its origins in the Boer War. In 1899, Boer commandos with 40-pounder guns laid siege to the town of Ladysmith. British naval guns, for which special carriages had been built, were landed from HMS Powerful in an attempt to raise the siege. The Bluejackets hauled the guns for many miles across hard terrain. One of the carriages collapsed. The sailors manhandled the gun 2 miles to the top of a hill and into action. After 120 days, the siege of Ladysmith was lifted, and the competition we see tonight was born. It's a competition in 3 parts: the run out, the run back, and the run home. Battery Commander Ken Mathers lights the thunder flash. Watch and feel the pain. Over the home wall, the limber, 345 pounds. Onto the sheer legs, the 28-foot spars. Across the chasm go the 10-foot spars. If any action equipment falls here, it's automatic disqualification. Onto the wires, the travellers, and the first wheels across. Weight, 120 pounds each. The gun carriage, 350 pounds, crashes to the post. The 900-pound barrel across, the barrel that makes boys metal shy. Gun assembled, limber across, man-handled to the enemy wall. And through, and turned, and 3 rounds to be fired. And the times at the end of the run out. Portsmouth, 1 minute 31.35 seconds. But the Fleet Air Arm, 1 minute 25.03 seconds. The trainers will be checking the teams for injuries in preparation for the run back. Every piece of equipment to go back over the enemy wall. Back across the chasm. The last man back, carrying, fumbling the 10-foot spar, the Flying Angel. The sheer legs down, 3 more shots to be fired. And the times after the run back. Portsmouth having a disastrous run, 2 minutes 38.35 seconds. The Fleet Air Arm slightly better, 2 minutes 26.36. Too much leeway for Portsmouth to have to make up on the run for home. Everything through the home wall this time. And reassembled and packed aboard, and they pull for home. The all-time record run was set in 1984 by an on-form Portsmouth, 2 minutes 40.6 seconds. But that was the time when teams had double the training time they've got now. And they're not even close tonight. The final times, Portsmouth, 2 minutes 59.82 seconds. The Fleet Air Arm, 2 minutes 47.69. It won't be a happy Portsmouth mess. But there is still a week of the competition to run. Still time for Portsmouth to harness that extra bit of concentration and pain. And the interest isn't just within the team camps. Each night the results from Earls Court are signalled to Royal Naval ships and shore stations around the world. A man's life in the Navy gives way now to the Women's Army. Of course, there's no such thing any longer. Since the Women's Royal Army Corps was disbanded in April, men and women are all in the army together. But perhaps the 40 women in action relay racing here tonight are marking the card that they're quite capable of matching the male competition on horseback, on motorcycle, giving dogs a lift, obstacle courses, anything you choose. They certainly seem to have the confidence of their pillion passengers. And these girls are tough. Private Hunter is recovering from tonsillitis. She's no doubt relieved she didn't need to be a stretcher case. Bruises come as standard. Many of the girls, by the way, that's not me being chauvinist and dismissive, the girls call themselves girls. Many are drivers and mechanics. But the new career structure in the army allows them to start as apprentice armourers and gun fitters, shipwrights and air crew. The women come to the army from all sorts of jobs. Ros Clark, the Red Team's motorcyclist, used to work in a factory making cigars. I wonder if in factories in Wales they roll them on their thigh. And that was me being sexist. Their male colleagues have serious money riding on this race. The bulk of it on the Red Team, I'm told. But it looks very much as if the Greens are edging a bumper ahead. I can tell you I'd definitely be in third place. A final sprint up the rope, blow the hooter, and you've got the points. Well, women's army rules have got me baffled. I could have sworn the Red Team won. I must have missed some subtlety in the scoring, because it's the captain of the Greens, Sergeant Tracy Mills, that has the honour of practising the art of sabrage. Don't try it with the carry-out. The froth and the bubbling excitement now of guests from America. The Conqueror Band from Hacienda Heights, California. There are more than 140 musicians and dancers aged between 14 and 18 in the Los Altos High School Marching Band. It's one of the most successful and well-travelled school bands in California. And for at least one of the Los Altos dancers, this will be the most memorable engagement of all. The massed bands of the Royal Air Force and a display of pyrotechnic sound and fury combine now for a finale which celebrates the mastery of the air, past and future. As armed forces manpower is inevitably reduced, I wonder for how much longer it's going to be possible to mount a military spectacle on this scale. But at least you'll be able to tell the grandchildren that you were there, watching the Royal Tournament of 1992.